another episode of Beer for Breakfast ABV. I am Danielle from the morning show on 91X. As always, I have my beer drinking partner in crime with me, Paul Segura, brewmaster of Karl Strauss. What is up, my man?
Aloha.
Are you stoked to welcome Dave and Kelly from New Belgium Brewing? Welcome, guys.
I am always stoked to see them.
As always, we know New Belgium as probably one of most of our first craft beers that we ever encountered, Fat Tire. And Fat Tire has been the long-lasting brand of New Belgium. But what's up with Fat Tire and what's happening, Dave?
Well, again, thanks for having us back. We love being here. What's new with Fat Tire is about a month ago on International Beer Day, we announced that we made the investment to follow the science. We believe climate change is real, and it's our responsibility as well to do something. So we're happy to again announce that we made Fat Tire the first nationally distributed carbon neutral beer. And so what that means, it's not just brewed carbon neutral. We've gone and done the offsets across the board from all the distribution, shipments from the brewery to our distributors. We took into account, each truck going out to the different points of distribution, and worked to account for all of that. So we worked with a company called CSC Global Services, and they helped us get recognized as it's called a PAS 2060 carbon neutrality standard. And really what it means is we're proud that we did this. It's not just a marketing ploy. It's something that Kim really has been trying to do with New Belgium for decades. And they've continually invested in different sort of advocacy programs like Common Ground and public lands and that. But this one seemed like if businesses don't get behind addressing climate change, we're in a world of hurt. So our goal with bringing Fat Tire carbon neutral is to hopefully inspire other breweries to do the same and work towards it. So that's the big news with Fat Tire. It's still the same delicious beer, and hope you enjoy drinking it still.
Well, cheers to that.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers.
So it's not just Fat Tire. Your whole plant is like carbon neutral, isn't it? You guys operate on this electric grid where you're putting energy back into the system and like all this really cool stuff.
Yeah, so we capture our methane and use our methane to help heat during the brew process. We have solar. We do a lot of recapturing of the water and cleaning the water before we put it back out. A lot of our practices are real environmental. And again, it's when you own your facility, it's a little bit easier to invest in your facility. The hard part is when you account for the other downstream implications of what carbon neutrality looks like, right? Like a distributor's truck's a distributor's truck. Like we can't, or the housing systems, the refrigerant systems, of a distributor, we don't have control over that. So it's a lot of work, but yeah, the brewery for years has worked to be as environmentally friendly as possible. Like I said, we've been a founding member of 1% for the Planet. We're a B Corp. So our core values are really in line with environmental stewardship.
It's pretty rad. Anybody that, that's watching this show that has not been to their brewery in Colorado yet, I totally recommend it. It's awesome. It's a role model for all breweries out there everywhere across the globe in environmental stewardship. And I salute you guys for that, man. That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
And then, thank you. And in Europe, there's a lot of the bigger breweries, especially in the Scandinavian countries. They're working hard to be carbon neutral as well. So we're not the first to do it. We're not the first to address it. We're just hoping everyone does this. It's not, woo, we're the best. It's like, hey, look, you invest a little bit more, shave down your profit margins a little bit more, but hopefully it'll help the world live a little bit longer.
Cheers to that.
I'll cheers to that.
The last time Dave and Kelly, that you guys were on Beer for Breakfast ABV. Obviously, we were together because we could be closer than 6 feet apart. But also, we were talking about the Voodoo Ranger, and you had brought on the Hazy IPA. However, I do not remember it being in a tall boy. Is this something new?
It is. Yes, it's brand new. We just put it in the tall boy this year because it was doing so well on draft and then in package. And these bad boys are flying off the shelf. Like, people just take them down. They're so good. It's delicious. Cheers, you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers. This to me is the perfect beer. I've been reacquainting myself with Balboa Park and getting lost in the trails of Balboa Park. And I can see myself drinking a Juicy Haze IPA as I'm like scrolling through. This is such a crushable beer, but it comes in at 7.5%. So could get you into a little bit of trouble.
Yes, please enjoy responsibly. Do not meander out on the archery range at Balboa Park because you have one too many.
I would never.
I would.
With your crossbow?
No, just for the hell of it. I don't know. Just to be weird. This beer does not drink like 7.5%, man. It drinks like 6.5 or 6. It's like Kelly said, it's super crushable.
I get a lot of guava too, a lot more guava forward than like a different citrus, which I enjoy. I like it. It's a little bit, I think, easier to drink, goes down smooth.
Totally does. I get like all sorts of tropical fruits in addition to guava. A little bit of orange as well.
Yep, orange. And it's approachable too for some people if they're, scared to try an IPA. This beer is fun because I've had people that say they don't like IPA, sample it, and then become a fan of it, which is fun. And these cans, I think if you remember last time we were in the studio, we had some fun with the Snapchat with Voodoo Ranger.
Yeah.
So those are that little barcodes on the cans too of the tall boys. And so we're having some fun with that too.
There was a video game about this on Twitch or something, wasn't there?
Yeah, we're quite active on Twitch with the whole Voodoo family. We released, I think it was 5 different 8-bit video games around different Voodoo rotators as well. So there's a motorcycle game and all sorts of other games out there. But we're partnered with a lot of different entities on Twitch. We love Twitch. There's a lot of fun beer shows on Twitch as well.
This beer probably has a huge following. Is it like your number 1 beer at this point?
The portfolio now outsells Fat Tire, yes.
Wow.
So
I could see why. I mean, it's super crushable.
yeah, the 19.2s, especially here in California at convenience, as Kelly was mentioning, they do really well for us. They're a great package size. They're also a great value at the package size. The Imperial is probably our number 1 selling in the 19.2s. Again, well,
No, it's this one.
Oh.
Yeah. Damn.
This will take you down.
Yeah, so the higher plane, which you just had in your hand, I think you both have the higher plane. That is our latest rotator. Our brewers were inspired by the enthusiasm we have around the Voodoo Imperial. So they decided to take the rotator up a notch and quit messing around. So it's not for the faint of heart.
Well, before we get into the higher plane Hazy Imperial IPA, what's been going on with New Belgium? I mean, I hate to say, the new normal, quote unquote, the age of Rona. Obviously, everything kind of halted for everybody in March, and we're figuring things out. What's been going on with New Belgium?
Well, they took everyone off the streets and put everyone like at their home office. So we're all working remote. from the get-go, and they sent us like extra training to keep us busy and occupied and kind of use the time wisely. And then now we're all back out accordingly, you know, just as you feel safe to be out and about. And they sent us protective gear, so we've got, you know, goggles if we need them, and masks, and you know, working from home but also out and about now, which feels good, just, you know, to see everybody. We did our first ever virtual retreat, which was new. In 29 years, it's never happened. So usually in September, we'd be back at the brewery, and, you know, hundreds of people are back there. And because of COVID, we had to cancel that, but it was fun. I was impressed with how New Belgium handled it. And, you know, I was worried about all the computer time because, you know, we're meant to be out and about. So it was fun. They actually gave us like fill your bucket time every day at the end of like 5 hours on the computer, and you got to go enjoy yourself. And they made the presentations good, and we still got to see people, and it's a lot of high involvement culture still. So it was good, but it's totally different. I mean, it's a different world right now. I mean, I wish I was in the studio with you guys so bad, but it's good to see
hugs.
I know.
Yeah, we as a brewery were quite fortunate that we have real strong off-premise distribution. So our chain and liquor, independent liquor, all that, we're continue to be really strong with our sales. So fortunately, we didn't have to furlough or lay anyone off. We were able to take all of we call our brewery, the front end, our liquid center. So everyone working in the liquid center, we were able to have them work on different projects, you know, ramping up e-commerce and helping with social and that. So we were real fortunate that we were able to take care of all our coworkers. That's been a challenge. During the height of sort of the COVID launch, until we kind of really got to understand what was going on, we put a lot of marketing efforts into trying to help our on-premise accounts. So we did a lot of fundraisers for hospitality, bar and restaurant workers and that. In Asheville and Fort Collins, we raised about $150,000 that we donated out to the local businesses there. And then, you know, it's impacting everyone across the board. So we wish we could do more in every market. Regionally, both the sales team, the field marketing people have tried to help where they can. And now it feels like we're starting, depending on where you're at, you know, here in Southern California, some places are outside, some are inside capacity. I don't know what color are we purple now?
It changes day to day.
Yeah, so where we can, we're trying to get back out to visit the on-premise accounts and see where people are opening up. You know, there was a start, stop, start that happened for a lot of businesses, which was really harsh. So they shut down. Then they had to, okay, we're going to open, so we'll clean our lines and we'll reorder, and then we shut down again. So there's been a lot of out in the field, as Kelly was saying, where we can and where it's appropriate and where it's safe. We've been trying to assist those on-premise accounts. But it's, you know, our hearts go out to everyone who's struggling this time. And our hearts go out to, you know, our fellow beer industry, fellow brewers. You know, it's been hard for a lot of people. So we're hoping it comes around and people can get it going again.
And sending the love back to New Belgium, you know, we miss you guys in Voodoo Ranger during Comic-Con. That is such a big thing that we do every year with you guys. And also really missing being in Colorado for Great American Beer Festival and going up to Fort Collins and really doing all of that. And 2020 is the year we're going to do it. But getting into higher Plane IPA, Hazy Imperial IPA, thing number one, this does not taste like a 8.5% beer. Also, doesn't really drink like a hazy IPA. Like, this is a really easy drinking beer. Holy camoly.
Other beers are snipers.
This beer's fun because Juicy Haze was doing so well, and Imperial IPA is another one of the top sellers. And this one, you kind of put them together, and that's what you get with Higher Plains. It's a lot more bitter in the end than, say, the Juicy Haze was. If you can taste, it's a little bit more of like a lingering bitterness to it, but it's still a balanced imperial. It's weird when you can say a balanced imperial, but you can still crush this one too.
Yep, you can't balance after you drink it, but it's balanced.
Look, as a West Coast IPA bitter to the end fan, this is a hazy that I can get behind because it does have that subtle bitter at the end of it, but it's not this like big punch to the face.
Yeah.
Are you picking up on a little bit more of that mango note than in the Juicy?
Yeah.
I get a little bit of pineapple on this as well. Yep. I mean, it kind of mingles with like an orange rind flavor. And you're right about the balance. I mean, it's got a lingering bitterness, but it's not, you know, face puckeringly bitter or anything. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I would crush this. I mean, even at 8%.
Shout out to all the brewers at New English Brewing, including one of San Diego's own, Nick Siniceros. We miss you, and you were brewing out there in Fort Collins, and we are so, so proud of you. But as always, New Belgium is slaying the game, and I am so impressed with everything you brought. I am going to call you guys out for just a quick second. Hillary does the concert calendar every day, and New Belgium Voodoo Ranger is the sponsor, and she keeps talking about this amazing pumpkin beer you guys have. And I'm like, where's the pumpkin beer? Can we touch on that just real quick? Because I hear about it every day on the concert calendar.
Well, we're going to need to get you samples, clearly. That's going to have to happen. It's delicious. It's in the stores right now. It's Voodoo Ranger Atomic Pumpkin, and it has a bit of a spice to it. And it's good. I mean, it's selling very well right now. It's like flying off the shelf, but we'll get you samples of it for sure.
Mellow 6.4.
I hate to put you on the spot, but Hillary has been selling it so well during the concert calendar. I was like, where's the pumpkin beer? Kelly and Dave from New Belgium Brewing, thank you so much for joining Paul and I for Beer for Breakfast ABV. We miss you guys, and hopefully next time we see you, we'll all be together crushing beers in the 91X studio.
We love you. Thank you for having us on. We miss you guys.
Can't wait till we can hang out in real life.
Yes.
Love.
But I do like drinking on the internet. Not bad.
It's fun, and there's no having to get anywhere after that. You're already home. Remember, every Friday morning, Paul Segura comes on Beer for Breakfast with Marty and I, and we will be drinking New Belgium beer this Friday morning, 9:10 a.m. Paul, any parting words?
I'm going to crush this fat tire right now. I haven't opened the bottle yet, but it's beckoning to me, and it's been a while since I've had one. I miss this beer. Thank you guys for offering these to us, and keep up the great work and the environmental stewardship and all the other good things you guys are doing. Cheers to you guys. Love you guys.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers to independently owned craft beer and radio.
Cheers.
Cheers.
91X.